The following program is brought to you by the Center for Educational Outreach at Baylor College of Medicine.
We're going to be exploring what is a calorie, and we're going to be measuring in a very direct way the differences in calories in two different kinds of foods. We're going to look at basically a carbohydrate-based food. In this case, it's going to be an oat cereal. And we're going to look at a food with a high fat content, and that's going to be a piece of pecan. And we're going to compare how much heat they give off when they're burned. And you're going to be very surprised because you can burn a Cheerio, and it will burn like a little candle, and you can also burn a pecan. There are some safety issues since we're going to be using an open flame. You may want, with your students, you may want to use this as a demonstration, depending on your classroom. But certainly, if we're going to be using flame, you're going to want to remove all flammable. So after I explain what we're going to do, I'll give you an opportunity to kind of clear off the top of your desk, and we can get rid of some of the things we've been working with. If you want to eliminate anything that would burn, students would need to have their hair back. They'd need to be wearing goggles. And in many cases, you may want to also have them working on a wet paper towel as their work surface. So the question that we're going to be investigating is, what has more calories, breakfast cereals or a similar sized portion of nuts? And we're going to determine this experimentally.
And smooth it again. If you have concerns about your students cutting themselves, particularly if they're younger, you can either fold it over or put a piece of black electrical tape over it. Or masking tape as well, but the electrical tape does it better. So if you want to make it smooth, you can just cut around again.
Oh, here.
Go ahead. Oh.
You're going to take a paper clip and bend it into a little hook that you're going to be able to use to hang either a piece of oat cereal or a piece of pecan. And you're going to anchor that on the desk with a piece of clay. Then, once you've got that completed, you're going to put 50 milliliters of water. And it's important that you measure the 50 milliliters of water in the can. You're going to take the temperature of the water, and you're going to record the temperature. Then you're going to use a match, and you're going to light the cereal or the nut and let it burn. And hold the can by the pencil about an inch over the flame until either the cereal or the nut will not burn anymore. You're going to record the final temperature of the water and take the difference. And from there, we're going to be able to calculate the number of calories given off by one piece of cereal or 1/2 of a pecan. What is also important to keep in mind is, usually when we're talking about portion sizes, are we talking about mass or are we talking about volume? Volume. Usually we're talking about portion sizes. So what you're going to want to use for this activity is have equivalent volumes. So, for example, if you decide to use 2 pieces of oat cereal, you need to have an equivalent piece of pecan. Or if you use 1 piece of oat cereal, then you'll break off a much smaller volume of the pecan to use. Because, again, we're really, when we're talking about diet and nutrition, we want to think about portion sizes, not mass. If you'd like your students to compare the amount of calories given off with equal masses, you could also do that as a follow-up. But we're going to start out with volume. So go ahead and make your little kind of paper clip hook that you're going to put the food item on. So have you taken the temperature of the water?
Yeah, we just did.
Oh, excellent. There it goes. Hold it right at the top of the flame, so hold it down closer. Down closer. Down. There you go, right there. Oh, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yep. It went out. Okay, now record the temperature of the water.
But when we're watching it, the water is right at the end of the flame.
It's going in.
Theoretical.
How do you read the initial?
25? 25, 26? We'll say 26.
Okay.
Now, here it goes. And we wait for the flame to go as high as possible. And we keep the water about 1 inch at the end of the flame.
Okay.
There.
Yes.
High. There you are. There, perfect. Ooh, the flame is bigger and it is way longer.
Yeah. Much calorie.
Oh yes. High.
Keep it down about the same distance that it was before. Keep it because you want to capture the same.
Remember, the blue part is the heat.
Look at the smoke. Black.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe, but now it's really going. Yeah, it's going up a lot.
I didn't know that was
If you can hold things out.
I knew, but this is
It's incredible.
this
Just
is just
a little piece.
This
Just this little piece.
is just
Can you
powerful
imagine?
demonstration.
Oh, it's going to have much more.
Still burning.
Now I know the kind of nut I am.
Yeah. It's more compact. There is more mass in
Wait, and the oil. The oil in it?
the oil.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Did it spill on you?
Yeah. Here's some paper towels. They think it was
Okay, so keep it at the same distance, regardless. Lower it. So we may need to sit the paper at a nice view height.
Yeah.
What is it? Thermometer?
That's what I'm saying.
You're not trusting her, huh?
She knows. Distinguish.
Let's find it. This is a hot nut.
Well, I should try. But then here I was talking to somebody who was so disappointed and so...
And then we use, of course, in physical science, students learn that 1 calorie is the amount of energy needed to increase the temperature of 1 milliliter of water 1 degree Celsius. But we've got 50 milliliters of water, so to find the total number of calories, you multiply the difference or the temperature change by 50, and that will give you the number of calories that was released as heat when you burned the Cheerio and when you burned the pecan. So you just take that difference and multiply it by 50, and that gives you the amount of calories. So you found that 2 Cheerios or 2 pieces of cereal gave you 450 calories? Okay. And the equivalent size of pecan gave you how many calories?
1,850.
Wow. Okay. Okay, second group. How many cereal pieces did you burn?
3.
3? Okay, so 3. And how many calories? When you multiplied the temperature change by 50?
5 times 250.
Okay, 250 calories. And when you burned an equivalent size of pecan? It's the temperature change times 50?
700.
700.
Then what did I do?
We may have used different temperature scales because one thermometer was one side was Celsius, one was okay.
No, we read it in Celsius.
You were in Celsius?
Yeah.
Okay. But there's some interesting variables that we could investigate here. One might be the distance that it was held above the flame, right? Which would be an important variable.
The amount of cereal.
Exactly. It might depend on how well the cereal or the pecan was burning at the beginning. So this obviously is an approximation. The important thing that we can take away from this is that there is a dramatic change in the amount of energy released when we burn the pecan. Now, what do we know about oat cereal and pecans, right? What do we know about oat cereal? It's primarily what? A grain, which is a carbohydrate, right? Okay. So the cereal is carbohydrates, right? Now, what do we know? There are some carbohydrates in a nut, in a pecan, right? But in addition to carbs, what do we have? We have
Unsaturated fats.
We have oils, and we have some protein, right? So now, we can ask students the question, would you get more energy from eating a similar sized portion of pecans or cereal? Pecans. And we think it's a lot of fun because it's a much more graphic demonstration of why foods that might actually have the same volume can have more calories. And again, help them to make hopefully better food choices.